Hey everyone, thank you for watching. The time has come. The time has come. Oh, here comes Aries. For my eyeshadow palette declutter. You ready, queen? You ready for this? I don't even know how many palettes are in my collection right now, but these are all of my palettes. It is my makeup declutter finale. It is my final video of 2021. We are ending it in a big way. There's also a big old giveaway at the end of this video that you will want to stay tuned for because it might have something to do with eyeshadow palettes, but clearly we have our work cut out in front of us. Let's go ahead. Let's get started. Woo. I kind of genuinely don't know where to start or the easiest way to do this. I have my little ring light out. Might have to bring a bigger light out because it's already 4:30. It's getting dark, but I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna try not to really prolong this. I have a lot of palettes to get through. And if you've been watching my declutter series, I have been very cutthroat. I have been getting rid of a ton. I am downsizing from a house to an apartment. I don't have a lot of space for makeup, and I also just have a different mindset. I don't want to keep around things that don't bring me joy. I don't want to keep around things that I'm not using, that they're just sitting there collecting dust. So we're really gonna go in with this one. All right. No, seriously though, like where do I start and why am I out of breath just looking at these palettes? I'm just gonna go ahead and start in kind of like the top corner here, I guess. I don't know, this seems like a good plan. So I kind of tried when I was organizing, I kind of tried to lay it out by brands, but you know, it's not absolutely perfect. First up, we're gonna focus on Dominique Cosmetics, and this is the Berries and Cream palette. And then I do also have the Latte palette. This was the first palette that came out. It might also be something where I kind of make some adjustments at the end. I really don't reach for these very often. I like both of them. I think they're both really pretty. I like the quality of them, but as I've been saying with a lot of my declutters, there's just so many that are my favorites that I go back to time and time again. So with that being said, I'm gonna declutter the Latte palette. I just don't think I'm gonna use it as much. I'm looking at the Berries and Cream, and my initial thought is to keep it. One thing as a YouTuber is sometimes I like to keep products from certain brands or for comparisons. Honestly, I feel like I'm really scaling back on that. Because I'm not a big, like I don't do those types of comparisons all that much. I'm just like much more chatty. So I don't think that's going to be a huge focus for me. At this time though, I'm going to keep this one. I might change my mind. But for right now, I'm going to put Berries and Cream in the keep pile and keep that from Dominique Cosmetics. And then I do also have Sweater Weather, and I believe I've only used this one time. So I actually want to keep this and see if I can use it just a few more times. It's a super cute palette. I like the outer packaging, but I never even reviewed this palette because I only used it once and then I think I moved. So I'm gonna put that one in the keep pile also. Okay, moving along. I have one here from Nabla Cosmetics. This one is the Side by Side Nude palette. Pretty palette, you know, a little more on this neutral side here. This is the only one that I have from Nabla, but Nabla isn't quite like a most reached for brand for me, and I don't think that I would need to keep this one around. It's a good one. I like it. It's pretty, but I don't need this many palettes, so that's gonna go in the declutter pile. I have one here from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This was their collaboration with Chipotle. So I just did a video, if you haven't seen it, ranking all of the palettes that I tried in 2021. So I will link that one up in the cards if you like eyeshadow palette videos. And this one was towards the bottom. I said the quality was really nice in here. The shadows are so easy to work with, but I have no idea what to do with this color scheme. Like, I genuinely don't know what to do with it, and it's just very confusing to me. So I am going to declutter that one. I have two here from Stella Rosa. These were gifted to me from a subscriber, which made me laugh because I love Stella Rosa wine. It is my favorite. Drank probably more than I should have during quarantine. So we have the Rosé All Day and then Taste the Magic. Now I actually haven't tried these, and I think I'm just gonna keep one. So this one, Rosé All Day, it's super cute. But that hot pink shadow, I'm probably not gonna use a ton. And then for Taste the Magic, I feel like this one is a little bit more like me, my style, and I really do want to try this out and, you know, just like see if I can get like a Stella Rosa sponsorship or just Stella Rosa to like send me a gift card or a case of wine. I'm just kidding, I'm just playing with you. This was a collaboration with Hipdot. They always do some really fun collabs, and I just thought this was so sweet. So I'm gonna keep one of those so I can finally try it out. A lot of products, when I was getting sent in like early 2021 or even late 2020, I kind of knew I was gonna be moving, and a lot of products were immediately going into my moving boxes. So that's why there's some things that aren't tried, because they were coming to me around that time and I knew that I was moving. But I really do want to try that one, so I'm going to keep one declutter one. Then from BH Cosmetics, I have the Chillin in Chicago palette. Again, I mentioned this in my 2021 ranking. I don't know, honestly, it didn't blow me away. It's not a bad palette. The quality is nice. I like the Chicago theme to it. I'm from the Midwest. I'm a Cubs fan. But it's like I want to keep it for like sentimental reasons. Also, the book series that I'm currently writing is based in Chicago, so it like has those good memories to me. This is one I'm gonna initially keep it. I might end up decluttering it. Initially, I'm gonna hold on to it. I moved some of the palettes from the other end over here so I could grab them a little bit easier. So next up I have some palettes from Juvia's Place. This one is in collaboration with Fumi, who is such an amazing human. This one I actually use a little bit more as a face palette. I've used some as blushes and then also highlighters, so you can kind of use it either way. I decided to include it in the eyeshadow palette because I didn't include it in my face palette declutter. But I am going to declutter this one. I love Fumi, and I think that like the artwork on this is so beautiful and the quality is really nice, but I'm not gonna go into these very often for eyeshadows, and I just used the couple for the face shades, so it's just gonna be one that I'm not getting enough use out of. So I'm gonna declutter that one. A couple more here from Juvia's Place. We have the taupes and then also the violets. So the violets is so beautiful. These purples in here are gorgeous. Just like the quality in this palette, I'm not going to be like swatching absolutely everything because we would be here for a very long time, but the purples in here are just so stunning, so easy to work with, and personally I love wearing purple with green eyes, so this is a palette that I like to reach into. Nice monochromatic palette, so I am going to keep that one. And then we have the taupes, and I love this color scheme in here. I think it's beautiful. Once again, like some of the shimmers from Juvia's Place really are like just quite stunning. But I think I'm just going to be reaching into the violets more, and I have a lot of this color scheme in my collection and some other brands that I tend to reach for again and again and again. So I think that I can declutter this one from Juvia's Place. Then I have my one from Alamar Cosmetics. This is the Reina del Caribe eyeshadow palette. This is a really beautiful palette. When I first got this one from Alamar Cosmetics, it really kind of made me very interested in the brand. The color scheme isn't fully 100% me, and sometimes when I go into it, I'm not totally sure what I'm doing. Some of these shimmers though are really, really nice quality. I kind of grappled with this one because like, look how beautiful that is, because this is my only product, my only eyeshadow palette, and I think my only product from Alamar Cosmetics, so it kind of went back and forth on if I should keep it or not. But again, I think with this color scheme, I'm not going to be reaching into it all that much, so I'm also going to declutter that. Hopefully I don't regret that. Again, might change my mind on some when we get to the end here. Next up, I have one from CXC Beauty. This is such a cool eyeshadow palette. I had a friend put this together for me. This is a custom palette from the brand CXC Beauty. I will try to link as many. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to link everything. I might link like websites or something like that in my description box, but I'll definitely have some links down there. But I had a friend put this together for me with the purples and the greens, and it's kind of like just a beautiful Samantha March palette. On the outer packaging that I have, it does say Samantha March also, which I think is just like such a cool option and to be able to do. Again, this was one that was sent to me around the time that I was moving. So as I was getting ready for this palette declutter video, I was still unpacking more boxes. Actually, I found my Wander Beauty foundation in one of them, and I was like, huh, interesting. I'm definitely gonna be keeping this palette and going to be getting some use out of it because I think that it is so, so beautiful. Next up, I have my one from Tati Beauty. This is her Volume 1, the textured, what am I trying to say? Textured neutrals, Volume 1. So beautiful palette. I was really excited when I got this one. I received it from Tati, which really meant a lot to me. And I do think that it's just gorgeous. There's just so much variety that you can do in here. And now there is no longer a Tati Beauty. They did decide to close down. So I'm definitely gonna be holding on to this palette because you're not gonna be able to get it anymore, and it's definitely one that means a lot to me. So I have a whole bunch of the bite-sized palettes from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I don't need to keep these all. I really do like these. A lot of them are like $3 or $4, which is not a bad price at all. Definitely would recommend them. I picked up a lot of mine from Target when they first came out, and I was like, what? These are so fire. So I'm only gonna keep a few though. I know I want to keep the mint one because I don't have like a ton of mint in my collection. So I'm going to keep Mint to Be. I'm also going to keep my favorite, which is Cream and Sugar. Kind of like a Natasha Denona mini nude dupe. I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to declutter the blue and the green. This one I'm very sad. This is very broken. It clearly did not make it in the move. Truffles. So I'm going to declutter that one. These two pink ones here, I have Berry Bad, which I just used in a tutorial recently, my Assumptions video, and then Rose Water. They're both so beautiful. And then we have Pumpkin Pie. I feel like I just want to keep one more. Which one? Which one, Samantha? You know what? No, I'm going to declutter. I'm going to do it. I'm going to declutter them. Okay, might regret that one. That one might come back on me. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. I have one more from Juvia's Place that I forgot to grab. This is the Rebel Army palette. This is a nice palette. It was included in my 2021 ranking. But what I said with this one is with the 4 shades that are in here, I don't feel like I can do a complete look. And if I go into a palette, that's typically what I like to do because these are just a little bit too deep for me. This green, I'm like, what finger do I have available? This green is really, really so beautiful once again. But I just don't think I'm going to go into this one as a whole very often. So I'm going to declutter it. Then I have one from Melt Cosmetics. This is their 24/7 palette. Again, this was gifted to me before I moved, so it went into one of my moving boxes, so I have not tried this one. I would like to try it out though, so I'm going to keep it in my collection. This video is kind of fun for me because it's been forcing me to unpack all of my bags and boxes, which it sounds bad, but moving here was kind of hard, you know, moving with the divorce and just like really upending your life. I couldn't even open my mail for the first month I was here. I was so like out of sorts. But I'm gonna try this one. I know not a lot of people like it, so I wanna give my own opinion. I'm gonna move over to my Huda Beauty collection, and that includes 3 of these 9-pan palettes, the Khaki, the Gold, and the Wild. All right, I don't know what I want to do about this one, because I don't think I want to keep all of them, but I think I want to keep some. I know for sure I want to keep this one. I really like the shades in here. I'm a big fan of this one. So I'm gonna keep the gold. I'm mixing up my keep and declutter piles. Let's get it together, Samantha. The Jaguar, I just brought the Khaki. I feel like you can tell between the two which one I gravitated more towards, right? The Khaki I really, like, I like it. I just don't really remember to reach for this one a lot, whereas the Jaguar is just like kind of fun. Oh man, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna keep the Jaguar. I know that. Wild Jaguar, I'm gonna keep that one. And then the Khaki. I think I'm just more surprised because looking at it, I'm like, I feel like I should love this one, but I'm not using it, so I'm gonna declutter it, and Aries agrees with me. Next up, we have the Nude. This is one that I thought I was going to love more than I did. I like it. I think that it's a nice one, but honestly, I just got the Rose Quartz, and I really, really like this one. Like, I really, really like the Rose Quartz. Again, looking at these, I would think that I would want to go into the Nude more, but you know what? I'm gonna keep both of these. I am going to keep both of these. Might be a little bit of a YouTuber thing. Might be a little bit of like a collection type of thing, which hopefully I don't regret decluttering my Khaki one. But I do want to hold on to both of these for right now, at least at this time. I have from Odin's Eye. This is the collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner, one of my friends here, the Giant Wolves palette. So I'm going to be keeping this one. I just purchased it recently. I've done a handful of looks with it. One I did in my members only get ready with me video, but so fun, super proud of my friend, so I'm gonna keep that one. Next up I have from Glamlite, this is the Dirty Martini palette. I've talked about this palette so much since I purchased it. I'm such a huge fan of this one. I really like the green shadows. The quality is just fantastic, fabulous, fantastic. So definitely gonna keep that one. Next up from Dose of Colors, this was the collaboration with Desi and Katie. I've been staring at this one because I don't really use it anymore. but it is limited edition, so it's not available. So it's one of those that like if I do declutter it, I can't get it back, right? I don't think it's available anymore. So I'm kind of struggling with this one because I love Desi and Katie. I still do, even as their careers have taken them a little bit more off of YouTube. I still really enjoy following their journeys, and they're both really inspiring to me. I think they've both made a lot of impact in my own life, especially professionally. So I kind of want to keep it for that reason. I feel like I kind of just talked myself into it. I'm looking over my collection like, okay, Samantha, what you doing, girl? I thought everything was going to be gone right now, but I'm going to hold on to it for just a little bit. Again, like I keep saying, I feel like I'm mostly just telling myself, I will look over everything at the end and make a final decision, but kind of want to keep that for like personal reasons. So next up we have the Tiny Marvels palette. This is the collaboration that Mel Thompson did with Sydney Grace. So I'm going to be keeping this palette. Mel was a friend of mine. She passed away in 2021, but I'm definitely keeping this palette. It's so beautiful. I know that they brought it back for a little bit also, which I thought was really great. It's wonderful quality. Sydney Grace makes really nice shadows, and obviously this is a very special eyeshadow palette for me. So I'm going to keep that one. I have one here from Persona Cosmetics. This was the Identity palette, the original Identity palette. I remember keeping this through my last declutter because it no longer has this packaging anymore, which I thought was so pretty and kind of like chic and sophisticated. They do have different packaging now, and it's more, it's like plastic packaging now versus the cardboard. So I kind of want to keep it because I really do like Persona Cosmetics. I feel like they're kind of like a sneaky good brand that doesn't get a ton of attention or a ton of hype. But I know that I'm not going to reach into this palette all that often, so I think it's okay to declutter this one. Next up, I have one from Pure. This was the collaboration with Raw Beauty Christie. So this was the more neutral side, and then we also have the more colorful side. You know, I've been staring at this one too, and I'm like really struggling with myself. I love Christy, once again, someone who's had a really positive impact in my life, especially when it comes to mental health, even though we don't know each other personally, but I think I'm actually going to declutter it. The colorful side, I'm just really not going to reach into. The neutral side is really beautiful, but I just don't feel like I absolutely have to have this one. It's so pretty, and I was so excited for Christy. And I think that it's great, but I know that I don't need to keep it around. So I'm going to declutter that one. I have a handful here from Ofra Cosmetics. So this one is the Empowered palette. I'm just going to go ahead and open these and try to make some decisions here. Next up, we have the Luxe, which is more neutral. Then we have Galaxy, which is the purple. And then we also have Beachside, which is the more colorful. Okay. Oh, wait, one more. Wait, this is Beachside. What did I say this one was? Oh, this is the collaboration with Leora. I opened it and thought Beachside because of that bright yellow. So this is the collab with Leora. Okay, and then obviously I have my Life's a Draft palette, which I'll open in a moment. So because my Life's a Draft does have quite a few purples, I'm going to declutter the Galaxy. The Luxe is super beautiful, but I feel like I have a lot of these shades. I'm going to declutter that one. Okay. Which one is this one? The Empowered. I really do like the greens in here. But again, when I just go into my Life's Draft so much. The Beachside I've kept around because I really liked how colorful it was, but I have some other colorful options. I'm going to declutter that one. All right, and then we have the one in collaboration with Leora. I love Leora. She came to Vegas recently. I was so excited when she did this and when I received this. I just think with the shades, I'm not going to use them all that much. So it's so nice, but I feel like I could pass it on to someone who would get more use out of it because like I said, I go into my Life's a Draft all of the time. This is the palette that I did in collaboration with Ofra. It's available now. It's on sale right now too because Ofra is running end of year sales. So we have the eyeshadows and then the blush, the highlight, and the bronzer. I mentioned a couple of these in my #1 product from each category, especially the blush and the highlight. You can see I've almost hit pan on the highlight. I love these purple and mauve shades. The bronzer, obviously, I love. I mean, I just go into this one so much. So clearly I'm keeping my own palette. I have multiples of this, but because I reach into that so much, I feel okay decluttering the other one. I have two here from Marc Jacobs. One is the Terrific palette. I mentioned this in, which video was it? But I was saying that I thought that I had kept this palette, but I couldn't find it. But when I unpacked all the boxes for this video, I did find the Terrific palette, which I really did like. And then I also have the Stiletto, which is this more cool tone palette. Both of them are really beautiful. I don't go into Marc Jacobs all that much, and I'm trying to decide if I would need to keep both, if I would be okay decluttering both. Oh man, this is a hard decision. You know, I've had the Stiletto for a while, and I haven't reached into it as of lately, so I'm gonna declutter the Stiletto. And then we're just down to the Terrific. This was limited edition, you can't get it anymore, but you know what? No, I'm gonna declutter it. I haven't reached into it for a while. I thought that I didn't even have it anymore. Well, I've already gone through one camera battery, so we have switched yes, we switched cameras from a Sony to a Canon, so if you notice a difference, my Sony apparently doesn't feel like holding a charge, so that's fine, everything's fine. So we are just going to keep moving on. So I had another one from Dose of Colors. This is the Marvelous Mauves. I don't like to use the Canon for declutters because the zoom, the like autofocus isn't as good. The Marvelous Mauves, such a fan of this. I've talked about it for years on my channel. Obviously, I've hit pan on that second shade. I think that it's time for it to go though, especially because I kept the Desi and the Katie. I love something with a good color story. I love the mauves, but again, a lot of times I'm going into my Life's Draft for that. I feel like I'm okay to say goodbye. I feel like this is like the perfect time to say goodbye to the Marvelous Mauves. You know, we're entering a new phase of life here. Kind of what my declutters are a little bit, you know, signifying in a way. I think it's time to move on. Holy bananas, that's going in my declutter pile. Okay. Alrighty here. All right. So from Patrick Ta, this is the Major Dimension palette. I purchased this one from Sephora a few months back when it came out. I've spoken really highly about this palette on my channel, in my ranking video, just in 2021 wrap-up videos. Really enjoy this. You have the two cream shadows, and then the mattes and the shimmers and the toppers are so stunning. I love a brown smoky eye. Big fan of this palette, so I'm going to be keeping that one. From BK Beauty, I have the True Beauty palette. So I really do enjoy BK Beauty as a brand. It's run by Lisa J Makeup, who is just phenomenal. Excuse me. I really do look up to her, especially as a businesswoman. I'm very inspired by BK Beauty. For the eyeshadow palette, you know, it's very neutral. It's very easy to use. The shadows are very easy to use. It's just not one that I go into all that often. In a way, I want to keep it to support, but I love the brushes so much and I use them over and over again. And I just feel like someone could get more use out of this palette than I would. So I'm going to declutter that one. Then we're going into my Kaleidos collection. So I have from the Club Nebula, which was a collaboration with Angelica. No! Looks like we have a bit of a broken shot. Okay, I'm going to have to clean that up and maybe press that in. Oh no. What happened? I'm so sad. The day that I'm filming this, actually, I saw Angie post on Instagram that they've made it to the USA. She has moved from Sweden to Texas here in the US. So I'm very excited. I hope a Vegas visit is going to be coming from Angie because I would just love that so much. But I'm a big fan of this palette. It's so easy to use. Even though the shades are much more Angie versus Samantha, I still think that it's a beautiful palette. So definitely going to be keeping that one. I do have the Flower Punk palette. This is a fun one, you know, fun color scheme. It's just, you know, when I mentioned it in my ranking video, it was like, it's just not something that I feel like I'm gonna reach into over and over again. Fun color scheme with the greens and the pinks and the more grungy tones, but I am going to declutter that one. And then I have three here. So we have the Futurism Astro Pink, which looks like so. I don't know if those are gonna stay open. And then we have the Futurism 1, which is a Sci-Fi Green. And these are really nice palettes. I feel like I mentioned these at the end of last year in maybe it was like the ranking video. And this one is the Futurism 2, the Cyber Bronze. This one, it still has the plastic in it, which I'm not sure why, but I have used that one too. These are actually really nice quality. That's what I was saying last year when I was using these palettes and ranking them. But I don't feel like I need to keep all of them because like I said, obviously I'm keeping the Club Nebula. Which one? Like my mind goes towards keeping the green because I like greens, but I have, you know, I have green shadows. You know what? It's a nice formula. I'm keeping the Club Nebula. I'm going to go ahead and declutter these. I feel like other people would get more use out of them. I feel, yes, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Woo! We're really doing it. We're really doing it. All right, from Rare Beauty, I have their Discovery palette in True to Myself. So this is the only palette that I have from Rare Beauty. I'm gonna keep it. The brand intrigues me. The eyeshadow palette isn't necessarily a favorite of mine, but like I said, the brand intrigues me. Maybe, you know, somewhere down the road I do some comparisons if they come out with more palettes. So I'm gonna hold on to that one a little bit for YouTuber reasons, if you will. And then I have one from Makeup by Mario, and this is the Rosy Glam palette. This one surprised me. I wasn't really expecting to enjoy this one as much as I did, but it's a nice little quad. The silver in here is really, really stunning. If you can see that. Beautiful shade in there. It's not an, it's not an absolute favorite. And now I was like so sure I was gonna keep it, but I'm like, do I have to? Do I need to keep a quad? I like it a lot. You know what? If I have my doubts, I'm gonna declutter it. Okay, that one I did not see coming. The depleted camera battery did something to me. Oh boy, here we go. All right, who's ready? Let's go, let's go. From Carly Bible, this is a collaboration with Il Maquillage. Oh, just kidding, this is a face palette. Why was I thinking this was an eyeshadow palette? I had it in with my eyeshadow palettes. I'm such a dunce. Okay, let's forget that ever happened. We'll just pretend that wasn't in there. I mean, you probably saw it, so I wasn't just gonna let it disappear, but we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Next up, let's move over to my ones from Lawless Beauty. So we have the One palette. This is a really nice palette. I was very impressed with the Lawless Beauty shadows. They're so easy to use. They're so easy to build up. So we have the big matte palette. Then we have the little one. And I'm wondering if I need to keep both. Then we have the baby one, which is beautiful. And then we have the Glam one. This was their holiday release. I'm gonna keep this one because I just purchased it like during the Sephora sale. So I'm gonna keep this one. Really do enjoy it. You know, I really like mini palettes, but something about the One palette just really gets me going. I'm going to declutter the little one. I really thought I was going to keep everything from Lawless Beauty because I do like the brand so much, and sometimes I do like to keep collections, but it's just one of those where like I just don't think that it's necessary. So I'm going to declutter the little one. I'm going to keep the big one, and then I'm also going to keep baby because I really like the shades in here, and like I said, I really like the Lawless Beauty formula. That was a little bit of a surprise to me also. Let's move over to Charlotte Tilbury. So I have 4 quads here from my girl Charlotte. We have Green Lights, we have Mesmerizing Maroon, we have, this one is Pillow Talk, and then we have Copper Charge. Okay, so there are my 4 from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna keep Pillow Talk because I really do, I like this quad. I like Pillow Talk, I think it's very pretty. I'm gonna keep Green Lights. This was a favorite of mine. I talk about it all the time. The other 2, once again, I kind of am like, oh, I kind of want to keep them because it's Charlotte Tilbury and I really like the brand. But Charlotte Tilbury really doesn't have like my top of the line eyeshadow formula. It's not necessarily a big favorite of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter these other 2. So we had Copper Charge and Mesmerizing Maroon. I'm going to say goodbye to both of those. Now that I'm doing this, I actually kind of like this camera more than the other one. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think maybe just for the eyeshadow palettes because it's such like a strange thing to film. It's different from how I filmed the other videos, but I don't know. I like it. Okay, let's move over to Urban Decay. So we have the Naked Cherry. We have Naked Honey, the Naked Ultraviolet, and then also Naked Reloaded. I'm keeping Naked Reloaded. Something about this palette just gets me. It just gets me going. I've loved it from the beginning. So big fan of Naked Reloaded. I'm gonna keep that. My Ultraviolet, you know, doesn't look super touched. I liked this one. I think this was one where a lot of people didn't. I thought it was nice. I liked the palette, but it's not an absolute favorite of mine. So I'm going to declutter that one. Oof, this is a hard one. Oh, this is hard. Between these 2, I'm going to declutter the Naked Cherry. I like it, I really do. Naked palettes aren't 1000% my favorite, besides I really like the Reloaded. But Naked Cherry, I think I can say goodbye to. I'm gonna do it, yep. Gonna declutter that one. Whew.
All right, here we go. Let's keep it going. All right. I'm just trying to cheer myself up now because I'm getting kind of hungry. Let's go into Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership palette, the Mothership Rose Decadence. All right, there we go, Rose Decadence. Then we have the Mothership Sublime Bronze Temptation. I don't know if that will stay open. No, okay, that's cool, that's fine. Then we have this little 5-pan here. This is the Eye Ecstasy Sublime palette right there. And then we have the big one, and this is the Mothership Divine Rose. Alrighty. Pat, what's good? What's good, Pat? Here we go. I'm gonna keep the big one because I paid a lot of money for it. I'm not gonna lie to you, paid a lot of money. I'm pretty sure I got it on sale at Sephora. I just am really feeling this quality more. If you stuck through this, I hope the video got better for you. Maybe it's a sign. It's a sign that the camera battery was meant to die. But I'm gonna keep this one. I never went completely gaga over these palettes like some people have, but I really do like it. And again, it was a pretty penny. I'm gonna keep that one. This was the first palette that I purchased from Pat McGrath because like I just wanted to get a taste. And I think this came out as like a holiday release. It was like $28. I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's beautiful. Like these shimmers in here are like wickedly stunning, like wowzers. But I just don't reach into this. So I'm gonna declutter that one. And then we have, let's look again at the Bronze Temptation and see what I'm thinking. I don't really like the packaging on these ones. It's very pretty. Honestly, I just don't reach into her palettes all that much. I'm gonna declutter that one, okay? And then we have this rose one. It's like I kind of want to keep a smaller Pat McGrath. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one, yeah. I feel good about that. I feel good. Who knows? I might declutter it at the end, but I think I'm gonna keep that one. We are getting down there on brands. My legs are getting a great squat workout. So we have Anastasia Beverly Hills. So we have the Carly Bible palette. Now I love Carly Bible. She was the first YouTuber I started watching. I'm a big fan of hers. I've purchased a lot of her collaborations. This one really didn't get me going. I feel like it came out at a strange time. Anastasia was releasing like crazy, released several collaborations with influencers very close to one another, which seemed kind of odd. And I didn't really go gaga over the formula in here. And I like Anastasia palettes, and this one really threw me off. So as much as I love Carly, I just don't think I'm gonna reach into this palette. I am still planning to do a ranking of the Anastasia palettes, and even the ones that I'm gonna include ones that I've decluttered in the past, like Subculture, that sort of thing. So I might not physically keep every single one of them, but they will be included in the ranking. But I'm gonna declutter the Carly Bible. I also have the Amrezy. This was one that was gifted to me around the time that I moved also, so I actually have not used this one, or if I did, I think I only used it like one time. So I do want to keep this one around because I would like to try it out a little bit more so I can include it in that ranking video. So that one's gonna stay. Then we have Modern Renaissance. Man, okay, let me start opening. We have Modern Renaissance, Sultry, Norvina, and Soft Glam. All right, what am I, see, these are the palettes that I like. These are the palettes that the formula very much impresses me. I mean, it's why they've stayed around for so long. The Sultry is just an absolute favorite of mine. I've talked about this one so much, obviously keeping the Sultry. Same with the Soft Glam. Such a fan, talk about this one quite often. So I'm gonna be keeping Soft Glam. The Norvina and the Mod Ren. You know, the Mod Ren is just like that old school, to me it's like what started the obsession with the Anastasia palettes type of thing. But the Sultry and the Soft Glam are kind of my go-tos. I really do like the Norvina, and I like those pops of purple in there. But I remember when it first came out, I was so excited, and I thought it was gonna be much more purple, and it's really not. So I'm actually gonna declutter both of these. I'm gonna do it. I might pull these aside just to be able to include them, because I honestly thought I was gonna keep these, to be real. When I was pulling them out, I was like, yeah, I'm keeping those. So I might just like pull them aside and put them in that ranking video, which is gonna be coming in January, but I'm actually going to declutter them. Woo! All right, let's go. Sigma Beauty, you are up. Here we come for Sigma. Now Sigma is one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas also. So this is gonna be a little bit of a toughie. Let's move the camera. Some favorites. the Ambiance. I just really like this palette. I mentioned in my ranking video that this is one that kind of holds a special significance to me. It's one of the first palettes that I got after I moved to Vegas and what I wore so much when I first moved here. So kind of has like really special memories. So keeping the Ambiance, the Corps de Rosa, I talk about so much. I'm a huge fan of the 14 pan palettes from Sigma. Love that they come with the brushes. Corps de Rosa is one of my top ones. I'm also going to be ranking my Sigma palettes in January, so stay tuned for that. Keeping that one. The Rosy palette, these little on-the-go palettes, this was included in my favorite set, which Sigma is running their semi-annual sale, and my favorites bundle, which includes this Rosy palette and 3 eye brushes, is also discounted in the sale, so make sure to check that one out. Obviously keeping Rosy, and then another on-the-go palette that I really enjoyed. This is Ritzy. So this little 9 pan, actually, do I need to keep Ritzy? Because I have Corps de Rosa, I have Ambiance, I'm gonna keep Untamed. This is such a fun one. Oh, that color scheme, like the grungy, like fall tones in here, like yes. And then Warm Neutrals. Okay, Warm Neutrals and Ritzy. You know, oh, this is so hard. You know, I'm going to declutter Ritzy because I feel like a lot of the same shades are in here, which actually I usually like to keep the 9 pans, but the 14 pans just, you know, a little bit more variety and some red in here. I just am a really, really big fan. I'm actually going to declutter Ritzy. I did not think I was going to do that. I'm keeping Untamed and Warm Neutrals. Big fan. The Magnifique, I am going to declutter this. This was a part of the Sigma Holiday collection. It's not quite the same formula, I don't think, as, you know, the 14 pans. It's still really pretty. It was still very easy to use. I like the purple and golds, especially for holiday, but I'm not going to reach into it as much as some of my other ones from Sigma, so I'm going to declutter that one. And then we have the Cinderella. While this isn't my favorite Sigma palette, I still like it. I still like the shades in here, and I find these just so easy to work with. You know, we're getting into some of my favorite brands or some of my bigger collections with these, so I'm gonna keep the Cinderella. I have 2 over here. Oh, there's my slippers. I have 2 here from e.l.f. Cosmetics that I forgot to grab out. So these were in collaboration with Jen Atkin. I mentioned these in my 2021 ranking. These are an eye and face palette. These are really nice palettes, actually. The eyeshadows are super smooth, easy to work with. So are the face shades. We have the light and the deeper option. Oh, it's like, do I have to keep both? I go into this more for the eyeshadows, actually, and this more for the face shades. Like, okay. I want to keep one. I'm gonna keep the light one. Yeah, I think that'll make sense. I really like both, and I kind of go back and forth and like mix and match, but I think I only need to keep one. So keep one, declutter one. All right, next up we have my Natasha Denona collection. I'm like moving all over my living room. Natasha, Natasha, Natasha. She's one of my favorites for eyeshadow palettes. I've purchased almost every single one of these palettes that you see here. I think maybe a couple were gifted to me. One was sent to me in PR, but I've purchased the majority of these. Diva palette was one that I waited and waited. I bought this, can you see Aries in the mirror? I bought this well after the release, but I really enjoy it. The mattes are so pretty, and it's kind of one of those that like I feel very proud of because I waited so long for it, and when I finally bought it, and it was on, of course it was on sale, but I was just so happy. I was so happy to be able to do it. So I'm gonna keep the Biba. The Love palette is a favorite of mine. I've talked about the Love palette so much on my channel. The Retro palette, one of my newer ones, big favorite. If you watched my #1 product in each category for 2021, there's the Retro. The Glam Face and Eye palette, I purchased this one recently. I have the one in light. I love that we have the blush and the highlighter in there with the eyeshadows. Big fan. The mini Biba, well, we'll finish off with these. The Glam palette. Okay, you know what's interesting is I've done a couple of my Santa Sam giveaways. I've let people choose whatever prize they want. One of them was an eyeshadow palette, and one of them was just any beauty prize. Both winners that won requested this Glam eyeshadow palette. I thought that was so interesting. I actually just shipped one out today to a winner. So beautiful cool tone palette. Keeping that one. The bronze palette, beautiful, stunning. Tell me more, Natasha. Keeping that one. the gold palette. This one was gifted to me a couple years ago, and I guarded this palette with my life. When I was moving homes and I had my house up for sale and showings, I literally took this palette. Like, I left with my dog, my laptop, and this eyeshadow palette. I have a lot of memories with this one. It's not my absolute favorite Natasha palette, but again, Natasha is just one of my favorites for eyeshadows. I don't know what more that I could say. The mini Metropolis I bought this year. Not my absolute favorite, but I like it. The mini nude. This is kind of what started it all with Natasha Denona. Clearly, I love this one. This one is the mini glam. So we have like the mini cool tones here. Love it. I've said before, I could get rid of everything in my collection and just keep my minis. And like, look, like I literally would be just fine. The mini Biba I just purchased. I have a video with a giveaway for this palette up on my channel. I will link it. The mini Love, once again, not an absolute favorite, but I love my mini collection. And then we have the mini Sunset, one of my first ones from Natasha Denona. Again, not a favorite, but that's okay. And then the mini Retro. Once again, not an absolute favorite. Out of my minis, the mini Nude, I still would say was number one. Then the mini Glam. I do have a ranking my Natasha palettes. Not all the new ones are included, obviously. These two would be my favorites. I actually am really enjoying the mini Biba. I feel like the midi palettes are starting to become a new love for me. So I'm just gonna kind of glance at these. I'm like, do I need to keep everything? You know what? I don't feel like I do. It's one of those where it's like, I want to keep all of them, but I genuinely don't think that I need to. Sorry, the ring light is probably annoying, but it's pitch black. I'm gonna declutter the Sunset. This was never a favorite of mine. I got it a while ago, and it really wasn't an absolute favorite. I'm gonna keep everything else though. Don't make me declutter anything more. Just the mini Sunset.
Lastly, we have the Colourpop collection. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I do get a lot from Colourpop in PR. They just release a lot anyways. I do get quite a bit in PR. Not everything is PR in here, but I really feel like I can cut down my Colourpop collection. Okay, all right. I think I'm actually gonna sit for this one and not keep squatting because my legs are on absolute fire. So, I have the Love Struck palettes that released at the beginning of this year. I've talked about not loving these, which I was super bummed about because I really thought that I was going to, but I just am not a huge fan. So this was one that they did for Valentine's, which is kind of broken there. This was the Melt for You. Then we have the ones in the Love Struck. We have Crush. Then we have Cherish. The next one is Lyric. That was one of my favorites from the bunch. Then we had Ballad, a little more cool toned, and then Amour. But I'm gonna declutter these. I just know I'm not gonna reach for them. Out of everything that I kept especially, and then just my Colourpop in general, I can declutter those. The Dream Street, I'm still such a huge fan of. This was a collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I still really, really like this one. It's not available anymore, but from time to time, I still reach out and grab it. So I'm going to keep that one. One of my new ones, this is by the Rosa. This one is brand new, just got it. So obviously I'm going to be keeping that one. All right, then I have the Wine Only. You know, pretty palette, one of their 9 pans. Not a favorite. I'm gonna declutter that one. Smoke Show, I really like. So I actually dropped this earlier, so I just kind of put the pans back in. All the pans came out, so this might not be in correct order, so just want to mention if you think that it looks different from ones that you've seen. Smoke Show, or I think it's called Blowing Smoke now, I want to say it is. This has a lot of good memories for me. I was wearing this when I won the American Influencer Award. I really like this type of palette, and I don't have really anything like this in my collection, so I've kept it around for a long time because of that. So I am going to keep that one. I have the Hocus Pocus and Gather Round Sisters. This one wasn't a big favorite of mine. I really wanted to love it. I love the artwork on it so much more because I actually really do enjoy Hocus Pocus. I think it's such a fun movie. But I'm going to declutter that one. I also have the Big Poppy palette. This is an all matte palette. It's really pretty, easy to work with, but again, not a favorite. I'm gonna declutter that one. I have the Flower palette from the Bambi collection. Mentioned this one in my 2020 ranking. It was pretty low, not a favorite, going to declutter.
All right, then we have the Main Squeeze. This is their monochromatic red palette, and I actually really liked this one, and I've kept it around through a lot of declutters. I actually think though I'm gonna declutter in this round. I think I've kept a lot. I'm really happy with what I've kept. I know I have some reds in there. I feel okay. I feel okay to declutter that one. Ooh, I thought I was gonna keep that one. Then we have Lilac You a lot. A really pretty purple palette, but because purples are some of my favorites and I have my own collab palette that I go into a lot, I just don't reach into this one. Going to declutter that one. The Mandalorian palette, The Child, this is one that really surprised me. Did not think I was going to love this one as much as I did, but I really, really do. So I am going to keep that one. The Waffle Cone Quad, another one I mentioned in my 2020 ranking. Again, not one that I thought I was really gonna like so much, but I really do. I was impressed with this quad. Going to keep that one. The Sweet Talk, this has been such a favorite of mine for such a long time. I've talked about the Sweet Talk so much. I still think it's so beautiful. I do want to keep that one around. Fade into Hue, I have kept this palette for a long time because it's so colorful. If I really need any shade, I can reach into this. But now I feel like I have more palettes that have more colors, and even now looking over everything that I kept, I'm like, I think I'm good. I don't think that I need to keep this one around anymore to have as like, I need a colorful option. So I'm going to declutter that one. The That's Taupe, I've mentioned that this is a favorite from Colourpop. Definitely going to be keeping That's Taupe. Love that more cool toned look to it. The Flutterby, I've been staring at this one and I was hesitant to reach for it because I thought I was going to keep it around. I love kind of these cool tone mauves, but I feel like I have other ones in my collection that I can reach for. I really do like the Flutterby, but I just did a best of Colourpop video and like favorites in my collection, best of 2021 releases. And you know, Flutterby wasn't included in there. So I think that means that I can declutter it. All right, so then I have Ménage à Moi, which kind of reminds me of Flutterby a little bit. And then also Boudoir Noir. They're both pretty palettes. They came out around holiday last time. But again, it's like Colourpop, I was gonna say coconuts because I was looking at that. Colourpop just releases so much that I feel like unless it's just like a boom, boom, boom fave, I don't want to, you know, kind of clutter up my collection with them. So I'm gonna declutter both of those. They're so pretty, they're so pretty, but I'm gonna declutter them. Then we have the Lil Ray of Sunshine palette. This palette makes me so happy with the sunflowers. It came out around the time that I actually had sunflowers in my garden in Iowa. I named them Kevin and Lucy. And you know, it's so fun is right near our gym here, we have a little garden and there are 2 sunflowers there. And I don't know why that makes me want to cry. Kevin and Lucy did not survive one of the storms that we had in Iowa, and I was so sad about it. And I posted on Instagram the other day and said Kevin and Lucy made it to Vegas. And so many people had just like the sweetest things to say. It's kind of like a symbol, if you will. Okay, obviously I'm a hot mess. It was kind of like a symbol and it made me so happy. So I just love now going to the gym and seeing those sunflowers. So I kind of want to keep the palette for that reason. Like it brings me joy. And you know what? It brings me joy. I just said it. Boom. Gonna keep that one. Then we have the Wild Child palette. I really like this palette. Again, brown smoky eyes are some of my favorites to do, but this is really nice quality. I'm a big fan of this one. I'm gonna keep that one. The Going Coconuts, this is another one that I'm such a huge fan of from Colourpop, have been for a long time. Gonna hold on to that one. I always say this wrong. The Grandeur palette, I feel like I said that wrong. You know, I'm gonna declutter this one. It's really pretty, but you know, not a favorite, so I don't need it. And then along those lines, we have the Baroque. Once again, I like this a lot. I like the cool tones in here, but I feel like I don't have to keep it around. I'm gonna declutter it. This is one that I thought that I was gonna keep, but I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. Doing good. Then we have the Limoncello. This is one that's so pretty and just fun and springy. I saw a lot of people mention this in their Colourpop favorites video, but it's not like a top palette for me. So it's pretty, but someone else can get more use out of it. So I'm gonna declutter that. This is the Perception palette that was in collaboration with Makeup Shayla. I loved this palette. I'm a huge fan of Makeup Shayla also. It's been really inspiring watching everything that she's done throughout the years. But this one, once again, I don't reach into it quite as much anymore. So I think that I can declutter that. And then we have the Rudolph palette. You know, this is one of the new ones. I'm not quite ready to give this one up yet. I just got it recently. I just reviewed it recently. And while it's not like a tippy top favorite, I still do like it from Colourpop and I would like to keep it around a little bit longer. So I'm gonna keep that one. All right, here we go. Let's pull everything out. See how I did. see if I want to make any adjustments.
Aries and I are here to give you the final totals. Over here is my keep pile. I'm keeping 64. Over here is my declutter pile. I'm decluttering 65, so about half my collection decluttered. But, you know, I was looking over them, and like I said, I might make a few adjustments. I did decide that I am going to go ahead and declutter the BH Cosmetics Chillin in Chicago, and also the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Queen. Berries and Cream. Cream Queen. Hello. I just think that I'm not going to use these all that often. They just don't really need to stay in my collection. So I'm moving those over to the declutter pile, which means the final totals is going to be, I am keeping 62 and I'm decluttering 67. That's it. That's my final. That's my final. That's it. That's all. That's all, folks. Okay, that is it for my eyeshadow palette declutter. Half of my collection is gone. I feel really good about this. I feel like I just cut out so many palettes that are just sitting around collecting dust, and, you know, keeping some of my favorites, some newer ones, and ones that have some special meaning to me. So I feel really, really happy. I was very daunted to do this eyeshadow palette collection. We lost a camera right away, but it's okay. I really hope that you enjoyed this one and found it fun. Like I said, there is a giveaway in this video, so let's hop into that. For today's giveaway, I wanted to do a palette palooza, so I'm gonna put a picture on the screen of the palettes that you can win, because I cannot put them back out into my living room because my living room is currently dominated by these eyeshadow palettes. But I will put a photo on the screen of everything that you will be winning in the prize box. This is the Santa Sam finale giveaway. So in order to enter, if you want to win this box, make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube. If you give this video a thumbs up, that always helps a lot. And leave a hashtag Santa Sam comment. And then follow me over on Instagram, which is March Beauty Word. I'm gonna be posting a picture of the prize box today over there. And you'll leave your hashtag Santa Sam comment over on Instagram. There's going to be a form to fill out that will be in the description box. That is how I will get your contact information and contact you if you are the winner. So make sure that you fill out that form. It has been a different form every single day for these giveaways, so you want to make sure that you're doing it each day. So make sure that you fill out that form, and one winner will win the box of eyeshadow palettes. So I'm really excited to do this giveaway. Thank you all so much for your support this year. It has absolutely been the hardest. But I'm ending it on such a positive note, and it's because of so many of you and just the positive impact that you have had on my life, and I just greatly appreciate it more than I could really ever put into words. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to enter into the giveaway. I hope you have a safe and happy new year. Welcome to 2022. Let's make it a good one. All right, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and we will see you in our next video. Say bye, Aries. See you in 2022. See you in 2022.